Okay, you can hear 100% in-field. Huge thing here. This is also on island. I mean, can you even see it 3D printed? Oh no, even play around. It's very nice. So we are in the lab. 40mm cube. Whoa. Be mine. All our different materials. How do you guys like it? I think we are live. Hello everyone. How is everyone doing? I'll put a little bit of some background music. It's been a long time I haven't used StreamYard. Hey Pete, long time no see. How's everyone? Let me see if I can recognize some name from Jupiter, Peekaboo. What's this? Non-fam. How's everything? Here's some name I recognize. Who else do we have? Bionic is here. Icarus Links is here. I'm most definitely working. I was told Sean wasn't here. That the only reason why I'm tuning in. Someone needs to be here to support Sean for not being here. Yeah, sorry, he's busy, so I'm covering the feedback hour for him. Oh, the 3 Heaven. How's the 3 Heaven going? It's been a long time. Current show design. How's everyone? I think the last time I streamed was like a year ago or something. It's been a long time. But yeah, I'm covering for Sean, feedback hour. So I think every week he's gathering a lot of great feedback from the community, transforming it into some internal projects that are then implemented by the different team. Always some good ideas that are coming from the feedback hour. And I think he is also giving you some updates on how's the different project going. I won't be able to give you an update this week, but the next time he's gonna jump on the feedback hour, he'll be able to give you some proper update. So during this hour, more of a discussion. Any questions? Happy to answer any questions. Maybe some discussion on new products that you are thinking about. Obviously some feedback on our website, on some product information, activity ideas, etc. Anything. We have 60 minutes together. What's the ETA on the HTPLA? I want to try some of that. I believe in 2 weeks. Actually, Pete is here, so he can give a better ETA. But 2 to 3 weeks, I think we'll have plenty in stock. I'm doing very well, Karen. Thank you for asking. Blue Jude is here. Good to see you too. I'm enjoying the ABS. The odor is only when the material is overheated, and some of the Polymax PLA. The 3 Heaven, the Polymax PLA king. I will try ASA soon. Great to hear. Any thoughts on a line of PCTG? Yeah, a lot of thoughts actually. That was internal discussion on because we heard a lot about people wanting PCTG, so we investigated a little bit what PCTG is, and one thing we realized is that I don't know if you saw that, but PCTG and PTG are basically the same, right? They are on the spectrum of at the how to say that, molecular level, maybe, like they both use the same diol but in a different quantity. So we were wondering how these two diol, depending on the amounts, how it would affect the properties. And And apparently a lot of people think that the PCTG, so when you put more CHDM than the ethyl glycol, then apparently the properties are something people like. So why not? Now it's to define exactly what is the right what is the right formula that people really like. So yeah, definitely some products in discussion. I have a question: is there any update to a dark mode for the Polymaker website? I'm not sure. I saw a project that was asking for dark mode, but I'm not sure about the actual development update. I wouldn't say it's a hard thing to do, but there might not be in a priority list because I saw a couple of improvements for the website. 2 to 4 weeks for the HTTPLA. There you go. Hi, Tensial. I'm doing okay. How's life in the US? Looks like you don't have any Southern accent. Yeah, no, I don't. But yeah, life is pretty good here. I really like the US. At least for the everyone is asking, how do I feel here compared to China? And my answer is the same to everyone. From 20 to 30 years old, I think China was the perfect place for me. From 30 years old now to, I don't know, 35, 40, who knows? I think this environment is better. It's more calm, more family oriented, so I really like it. Good to see you on stream again. Salamander, good to see you too. How many of you have printed in PCTG that want it? Oh yeah, that's another thing, is that we heard PCTG demand a lot, but we don't know if it comes from the hype or if we come from a real need. Because sometimes there is a lot of people asking for something because they heard some people, they heard some other people that heard something on YouTube that it was good. So we want to make sure we try to differentiate, how much is hype and how much is real, like really people that know what PCTG is and really understand that it is a material that would fulfill their need. I have never printed with it, but I would like to. I've never tried PCTG. Yeah, so that's the part we're trying to differentiate. Like, are you asking for PCTG because you heard other people asking for it? Or are you asking for PCTG because you know what PCTG is and you know it's the perfect material or a better material for your application? The China tariff are not as high as expected. Will Polymaker be lowering the filament price back down to pre-tariff prices? So we have adjusted a little bit because, like you said, right, the tariff is not as high, but it's still much higher than what it was before. So going back to our pre-tariff price was a little bit challenging, but I believe we are currently offering. I think pretty much the majority of the product are offering discounts that basically equals the pre-tariff prices. But we're still watching what is happening. So right now it's more of a discount, but because it's easier to move according to the that economical environment. So but you can go on the website. I believe most of our product are basically offering a similar price. Only just starting to try ASA. Need a hardened extruder before I can try any of the more enduring filament. Okay. Do we need a harder extruder for ASA? Maybe not, right? I don't think we need one. Or maybe you are saying you wanna try even more engineering filament. In which case, if you start going into the reinforced or composite filament, then yes, you will need a hardened extruder, hardened nozzle. The whole path basically of the filament. Hey Pesleys, how is everything? Can you add speckle to Copy? Yeah, I think so. And definitely Copy had a little bit of a struggle, a marketing struggle. I think is, it's always hard to introduce completely new material. And we tried, when we launched it, we tried a certain position. Then we received some feedback from the market. We repositioned it a little bit. We received some more feedback. So we are adjusting the position of Copy so that so it's more, and so there's more understanding of what that product is. But that's, for me, that's the challenge I really like. I really like this type of challenge when you introduce something new, whether it's copy, whether it's the heat stability concept that, again, we received a lot of feedback on this, how to introduce better the capability of our HTPLA. So yeah, always I really love introducing new things to the market. When did they drop down? Blah blah blah. Il pleut à Montréal. It's raining. What would you use PCTG for? Yeah, that's a good question. A good question to the people that are asking that are asking for PCTG. I didn't really. I mean, for me, PCTG is kind of our Polymax PETG. It's like a tougher version of PETG, kind of. So we kind of had that, like Polymax PETG, but it doesn't have the name PCTG. And sometime when you launch a product, marketing wise, you need to use like a how do you call that, a hype name, or yeah. So if we would have called Polymax PETG PCTG, maybe it would have been more popular. Who knows? Hey, Alexandra, happy creation. Nice to see you here. I just did ESA. Builders Mark is here. Sorry if I forgot some names. Good afternoon, Star Rose. HTPLA when? We do have some more HT stuff that are coming. So that's maybe not as many HT as you wrote down, but some stuff are working. Some stuff in the work. I heard it's tough. I heard it's tough and have the same flex for durable part. I heard that too. And I'm looking forward to have our first R&D report on the PCTG study, and then let's see if it's an interesting product. Current show design, website question feedback on the order page. Anyone else seeing the status of on its way for orders that have already been delivered? Of all my order going back to 2023, only one says delivered. Huh, interesting. Let me screenshot that so I can forward it to Sean. And let me put it here. Okay. Yeah, all the feedback, I will record everything so that he can follow up properly. Speaking of new things, bundles for the Canada website. When are we Canadians going to have the bundles? Bundles meaning the bundle builder, right? Okay, I'm not too sure actually. I don't think. Let me think about it. Bundle builder. Yeah, maybe not that soon actually, because behind the bundle builder, so we are able. So when you say bundle, my guess is you're saying a bulk discount, right? I guess that's the meaning. So to have bulk discount in Canada, we need to have better logistic, so that we can offer, so that when you buy more, then it's cheaper for us to send it, so we can forward that saving to the customer. And I don't think we have that infrastructure in Canada yet. That might be the reason we don't have the bundle builder. But I can get more information. We do have the infrastructure in the US. That's why we can forward that saving to the customer. RC parts, robots, radio cases. I guess for the PCTG use. Don't pay attention to Builder's Mark. He's a troublemaker. Blah blah. There is some new names that I have never heard before. I'm sorry, Nick, I missed. Is there a Spackle copy coming? Not yet. But maybe next year. As we position copy properly and more accepted by the market, then maybe we will enlarge the color range, wider the color range. Sebastian, PETG is already quite flexible, too flexible for some application like printer frame already. Also not sure what exactly I would want to use even more flexible, higher impact PCTG for, but I saw that it can look nice for clear filaments, still not glass clear, but better to get clear effect. than other filament. Yeah, I heard that too. I heard PCTG is clearer, but for me in 3D printing, getting a very clear filament, for me it's not like, it doesn't help that much, because it's not like we have a, it's not like we have a tool that when you print it, it becomes super nice and transparent. The layers makes it. I don't know if you're gonna see a huge difference between a PETG clear and a PCTG clear after it's being printed. Maybe. Cookie TM, thank you for coming. We have brought a lot of makers and crafters into 3D printing. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I see a lot of new names. Too Fast for Radar. I told you he was troublemaker. I would love to find a better supply of filament here in Canada. There's a lot of Canada filament brand. Are you looking about like made in Canada, or are you looking at like a brand that keep things in stock, or are you looking at a better reseller to buy our product, or what do you mean a better supply? Hi, Jose Feria. Is there a big request for clear filament? Not much. In the PETG line, the clear filament is one of the top colors, but whether we heard a lot about clear filament, not that much. Translucent color, yes. I think translucent color becomes more and more popular, but like a clear filament, I haven't heard much. I worked on a PETG to make a lens and also Polysmooth. I was close for sure. Oh yeah, Polysmooth, yeah. Polysmooth, I agree. I think you can make some pretty cool stuff with Polysmooth clear. We are actively working on the packaging situation on some bend spools, so it's definitely one of our priorities, yes. Yeah, we have some packaging optimization that are coming for that. Our quality team and packaging team has, I think, pinpoint some of the reason why some spool can arrive bend, and they are working on that. So I think it's really good. But I'm pretty sure Sean already talked about it. Paisley's is my 3D printing fairy godmother. I'm here because of her, and I love it. Nice. Yeah, I think I'm more familiar with the Imprinting Color show, but I know she has a lot of other shows. So I'm pretty sure she has got a lot of people on board for 3D printing, which is awesome, and that's one of the reasons we support so much creators, right? I have become a crafter and make because of 3D printing. My living room is looking like Michael's store. I'm not familiar what is a Michael's store, but I'm guessing some DIY stuff. Michael's store. Oh yeah, okay. There's a lot of all the stuff for crafting and stuff. Nice. Yeah, I mean, once you are introduced to a tool that allow you to create, like to do stuff, then for sure, a lot of ideas are coming to your mind, and then you end up remodeling your house. PCTG is the best. Is the best from the everything I've read for magazine for 2A items, but have not had the chance to try it yet. Yeah, to see. I'm not too familiar with that product either, but I know we are testing it internally. So hopefully soon I will learn more about the capability of that material. Like I said, there's a whole spectrum from PET to PCT, and then that whole first section is PETG, and it slowly goes to PCTG, and then it ends up in PCT. So we just have to find, what material to release in that spectrum. Website feature request. Add a wish list, save for later capability similar to Amazon. This would be especially helpful for out-of-stock item. Oh, that's a good idea. Let me screenshot that. And here. Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, hopefully we're not out of stock too much. Well, not the right time to say this, knowing our HTPLA is completely out. But yeah, I hope we can maintain. It's harder and harder to maintain stock when you have like 1,000 SKUs. But I hope it's not too much of an issue to run out of stock. I think Paisley should adopt filament fairy code model on top of all filament swap screen. Polymer is awesome. Thank you, Jose. Thank you so much. The Three Heaven. Hey, Nick, I have to go, but I would love to have a video meeting. Be safe, my friend. Huge love to the Polymaker family and personally. Thank you so much, the Three Heaven. And yeah, definitely. Foam TPU. Foam TPU, yeah. Active foaming TPU, I think could be a good idea. The foam TPU, I think we need to find a good market for it. Like, what would be a good market for foam TPU? The cosplay community, or what else? Only the cosplay community would like a foam TPU, or like maybe composite printing where you have a handle that is covered in foam TPU, something like this. Could be a good idea. Fashion industry also, yeah. Hey, Matt German. It's been a long time also, Matt German. HTTPLA soon, something to look forward to, yes. I've seen a really cool video of a seat cushion 3D printed from foaming TPU. Yeah? Hi, the Reverends. Okay, so I do have two topics that it's not really related to, it's kind of related to feedback, but the first one is the how to ask that question properly. Yeah, like all the profile stuff, right? So I'm wondering, for you, like, do you create your own profile? Do you like okay, so here's maybe the question. Do you spend more time browsing the internet and asking around to find a profile, or do you spend more time creating your own profile? Yeah, I guess that's my question. And then depending on the segment, I guess it could be different. Like let's say 3D printing enthusiastic might spend more time doing their own profile. But maybe from your personal point of view, and also from what you think the general market would, like, what do you think they do usually? I wonder if it would be good for a 3D printed kite. Foam TPU? I'm not sure, because the kite needs to have some type of rigidity, right? I mean, depending if it's just the structure of the kite or the whole kite. Foam TPU would be good to make things like a bike handlebar. Yeah, like any like handle or stuff like this could be a good idea. Hey, Zombie, Sean's looks different today. Yeah, very different. H2D profile, build my own profile for printers. Yeah, Builder's Mark for sure. And what do you think the general market? Do you think they also? Do you think there's more people that tweak the profile? Like if you had to give a percentage of how many people have ever touched a profile, meaning they change the speed, or they change the temperature, or they change something, like maybe 2 or 3 settings. What do you think is 100%? Like everyone in our market has at least, maybe not one time, but regularly change 2 to 3 settings? Or do you think half of the market has almost never touched the profile settings? Or do you think almost nobody touch the setting nowadays? They just download something and just print with it, and if it doesn't work, they download something else. What would be the percentage of people that tweak settings on a reasonably regular fashion? I make my own profile for all products. Yes. I mean, for most people here, I'm not too surprised if you do your own profile. So maybe, yeah. Building my own, yeah. I'm pretty sure. I mean, most of you, because you're all, we can call it 3D printing enthusiasts, or you know your stuff basically. But I'm wondering in a larger scale, because a lot of people, they have a 3D printer, but that doesn't mean they are so much into the 3D printing community, pushing the boundaries of their 3D printer. They have a printer for some particular reason, right? For businesses or for another hobby of theirs or something like this. Generic and send prints. Mud Sherpa, I bought a Bamboo printer to make the printed items the hobby, not printing and tinkering itself. Yeah, exactly. So that's my question. I'm wondering what's the percentage of the market that is like this, that don't really tinker? Cookie TM, I really would have liked for a Polymetal Profile standard in Prusa Slicer, since they have so many other brands, had to adjust density. Yeah, I think we are working on getting our profiles there. A little bit of a lengthy project. I also need to follow up on this. Zombie, I made a generic tune profile that I use for most print and adjust as needed. I use the same PLA profile for everything mostly. Yes. Related to the out of stock item, is it just me, or does the style of the notify me when available button like it's disabled? It's clickable, but the style looks like it's gray out. Let me check. Let's go on HTPLA. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. It doesn't really look like. It looks like it's like a not. You cannot click it. Like you have the buy with shop page just below, right? And it has that same muted color. I think the teal should be more saturated, less muted like this. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Let me screenshot this. Okay, I like sending people to the wiki.polymetal.com. Oh yeah, me too. For profile, for anything. There's so much information on our wiki now. I think most people don't even notice that a profile can be custom. Yeah, I have the feeling. So my personal answer to the question is about 75 to 80%. I think there's 75 to 80% of the people that has a printer that have almost never touched a profile, meaning changing the speed, changing the temperature, the bed temperature, how many, even how many walls or the infill type or this kind of thing. I think there is 75 to 80%. Yeah, something like this. That's my judgment. The amount of people who use the stock profile is staggering. Yes, that's more or less in line with my thinking. I tweak profile based on my result. If I dry my filaments and the external environment are different than the profile maker, then we'll likely get slightly different result. Yeah, that's true. I guess that depends on how new a person is 3D printing. New folk may not know. Yeah, well, I feel like even if you have someone that has printed for a year or 2 years, maybe for me, the amount of time you have a 3D printer doesn't define how much more you're gonna use the advanced setting. I mean, I guess it's correlated, but if I'm, I have a business where I print more or less the same model all the time, or the same few models, I might never, go into the advanced setting or something like this. But if that's true, like 75 to 80% never really touch profile or tinker with the profile, then having profiles becomes the must-have, right? To the point where if a material doesn't have a profile, then that material there's no need to be there, right? Basically, no business for that material if there's no profile. Good today. I might have gotten some good news, but I have to wait till September for it. Okay, but you already know it's good news, so I guess you're excited to be September now. Sebastian, there are enough people who don't even switch the profile on modern 3D printers and try to print cell PLA with high-speed PLA settings, and they complain it doesn't extrude properly. Yeah, and that's also the thing. If they rely a lot on profile, if it doesn't work, then that's it. They either throw away the filament because it doesn't work, or either I don't know. Are they going to go online and ask for help? Maybe. Are they calling the printer support or the filament support? I don't know. Hey, Teen Talent, thank you for joining. Probably 99% or more use the stock profile. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I would go as far as 99%. They might use the stock profile, but I think there is still 15-20% of them that will do changes accordingly. If they have some fail, then they're going to change. They're not going to look for another profile. Dal Mock 3D, Mac 3D, my Polymaker order is gonna arrive Monday. New printer arrives tomorrow. In a happy place right now. Hopefully all is good. Nice. A new printer, like first printer, or new printer to complete the family of 7 printers. 85% no tweaking, just trying different profile. If I had to guess, possibly more. Okay, so we are in the same ballpark then. I found Polymaker to be pretty consistent, so when it's dry, I can expect it to be the same on the next order. Too fast for radars, yes, and that's what we're trying to do, right? And that's the challenging part of making a million times the same product. How can you make a million times exactly the same product? And yeah, that's a challenge that we're proud to be overcoming. Maybe 5% have changed something. Oh, even lower than I think. Tricky, I can speak for myself. In 95% of the case, I adjust volumetric flow limits depending on Pro. Yeah, okay. Iconic Fab. So yeah, Iconic Fab. I'm not sure if there's a lot of people that actually know what volumetric flow is. So yeah, I guess also for more advanced people. Given how popular Bambu is, I'd say a large percentage don't want to tinker with profiles. Yeah, I agree. Those of us that are seasoned know that a baseline profile would need tuning to match filament and machines. Yeah. For me, a profile has. Oh yeah, another question. Well, I'm already late in the chat, like always. Sorry, if I miss some question, you can write it again. Here's another question. In the future, in the next few years, do you think the profile will be at the material plus printer level? Like a material plus a printer will have a profile? And then we just put, you choose a model and then you just choose that profile. Or do you think it will go as detailed as every single model will have a profile for every single materials and every single printer? Do you think we are going that direction? Because when you think about it, when you go on some printables or MakerWord, you have the profile for each of these model, right? A model come with a profile. So I'm wondering if we are, or maybe it's too much in maybe in the next 2, 3, 4 years, we're gonna reinforce the printer plus material profile for any model, and then maybe in 5, 10 years, it will really go down to like including the geometry and the application. Like this type of geometry is this type of profile. If it's this type of application is this type of profile. But I'm not sure if we are there yet. The most important thing is volumetric flow at different location, outer wall, infill, etc., which all changes based on material, hot end upgrade, etc. Yeah, that sounds like too much to keep up with. Yeah, that means, because when you think about it, where would this profile come from? Like every single designer that make their model will have to create all the different yeah, that doesn't make sense, right? So maybe I mean, it makes sense, but it's not practical. So maybe the next step is the profile will be so good that if you identify the printer, the hardware, and the material, this will create a profile, and that would work with all the models, basically. That would be the ideal. I think this is the perfect application for AI to help. I'm fine with printer and main filament type. Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, Bob, been a long time also. Yeah. How AI can help? Let me think about it. How can we? Everyone is putting AI everywhere. How can we put that in Slicer? How can we put AI in Slicer? You would have. How can you train AI to print well? How can you do that? You need to put you need to print a bunch of stuff in a bunch of different settings, and then tell the AI, for these settings with this material and this printer, this is the output. Like you take some picture or something like this, or maybe, I don't know. Because there's one thing you could do, which is not profile, but you could do standard tests, like tensile strengths, impact strengths, stuff like this. You change, you play around with the you play around with the setting, and then you do the testing. More walls, the higher the tensile strengths, the higher the infill density, the higher the tensile strengths, or something like this. And then you put everything in the AI, and then it figures out. Can he figure out for what model, what setting to? Yeah, I don't know. How can you train an AI to find the? Or maybe we need to go we need to being able to model, to simulate 3D printing on the computer, like how does it melt and how does it, yeah, maybe if you go in that level, yeah, I don't know. I was telling Sean last week, I tested asking AI to make me a random filament profile for a random printer, and he created a profile. Really? Yeah, that's not good, because if people start asking the AI to give a profile and it randomly generates something, let me screenshot that, and then people try the profile and it's not good, then that's not good. AI is rubbish in my opinion. Really? Well, I guess it depends on which one, but for me, AI is amazing. Or at least there's a lot of application that has been unlocked by AI that I really like. Maybe not. Yeah, AI is a very broad term, right? You need to print and observe part failure, print surface, artifact, etc. Yeah. Also, AI wouldn't take into account ambient temperature or humidity. I mean, you could feed that, right? You could feed that to the AI. But I'm just thinking, like, how much printing do you need to do to actually train one? Like that would be crazy. The issue is that something like a worn nozzle on one printer will not be equal to another printer with a new nozzle. I have two P1S that I have to use drastically different ironic settings using the same exact spool of filament. One look awesome with the default ProLight settings, and the other I had to crank up the flow rate about 15% to get that smooth. Yeah, that's true. Hardware will be different. It's hard to have exactly the same hardware. Might work for one, but not for the other. Yeah, the number of things the industry could do to improve OOTD printing is get rid of grid infill and certainly not make it default. Sebastian, big printer manufacturer, I do not support anything like that for data protection reason. Could have a huge training database if they just use all the data the network connected printers generate. The printer knows the setting. The printer sees the print since most have a camera and notice user input, like if a print is stopped, print again and same setting. Yeah, that's not bad. Do you think they already do that? Like, for example, Bamboo printers, they all have a camera. Do you think they are already in the R&D training an AI or something like this? I mean, they must be, right? Like, they have access to so much data. They must do something with it. Or you think they don't? I'm pretty sure they do. If I had that much data, because that's their slicer, their printer, so they know what set of setting has succeed and which one has not for which material. Yeah, they could already do that, right? As long as our AI printed file don't change models to 4 or 5 fingers. Yeah, AI for 3D modeling is something else. Bob, easy fix for that. Run a Diamondback nozzle on the Bamboo, it never wears out. Yeah, absolutely love mine. Yeah, I haven't tried it yet. Isn't that basically why Bamboo asks you to vote the profile? Yeah, I was thinking that about Bamboo. Yeah, AI could totally leverage ambient sensors for temperature and humidity to make it profile and adjust on the fly. Yeah, I mean, that would be so awesome. That would be so awesome. I mean, I'm really looking forward. If you remember, like quite a long time ago, but we talked about pressure sensor, where in order to have, well, let me think about it. Because now, how we solve the consistent extrusion when you have a dynamic pressure is with pressure advance, right? That's how we solve the issue. But what if you have a feedback loop where, well, it would need to be super responsive, but where you have a pressure sensor and okay, let's go back a little bit. Do you agree with that hypothesis? If the pressure is constant in the nozzle, the pressure meaning the pressure from the molten polymer in the nozzle, if it's constant at all time, do we agree that what's coming out will be super consistent at all time? Like, do we agree that there is a direct correlation between the pressure in the nozzle and what is extruding, the extrudate? Like, if the pressure suddenly is higher, then you will have a thicker extrudate. If the pressure is lower, then you have a thinner extrudate or something like this. Yes? Okay. So that means if you have a pressure sensor in the nozzle and somehow have a super fast feedback loop, then you only need to look at that pressure sensor, right? If it changes a little bit, then you just adjust the extruder. But I guess the problem is the limitation. It's what I just said. You cannot have that fast feedback loop. Like, you would see that the pressure is different, but the time to adjust it, it's already too late. Maybe that's the problem. So maybe that's why we use pressure advance, because we first estimate, we first create a model of what will happen and then adjust it ahead of time instead of responding to it, because the response time would be way too slow. Okay, so that's not at all a feedback hour, but feedback loop, my leg would be twitching. Kugiti and Prusa showed they could identify a model geometry by measuring the load cell in the extruder head. Wonder what the R&D update on that is. PROSA showed they could identify a model geometry by measuring the load cell in the extruder head. Well, they would also need to know in which direction the nozzle goes, right? Well, but in that case, then of course you know how the model look like. With only the yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe that was 2.5 years ago. Maybe I don't know if that's possible. That really depends on other factor, and if they are stable as well. You could probably train a model for specific filament and hot end. Yeah, I think that's exactly what needs to happen. We need a company that is able to model 3D printing. But that's the part that is like, if you manage to model 3D printing, to simulate, to create a simulation, an accurate simulation of 3D printing, then I think it's jackpot. And I actually know a company that I think not is doing it, but I think has done it. I think Printbuster return, yeah. It's not a feedback hour, it's a Printbuster. Extruder, motor precision, nozzle temperature, back pressure, filament type, etc. Wouldn't density vary from different filament? Would cause varying pressure detected? You mean within the filament? Do you mean density variation within the filament? Because if it's from different filament, then that's fine, because that's a different print. Correct. Within a filament. Theoretically, yes. Practically, I think it's very, very, very minimal. Like composite filament, maybe. Composite filament would have a little bit more of a drastic, well, I wouldn't call it drastic, but a bit more variation in density. But non-composite, I would even say no variation. Pressure can change from drag between filament and extruder and drop in temperature and hot end. Yeah, because do you think there is is it the Prusa XL that is coming with a pressure gauge, or they dropped that? I remember there was a printer that had a pressure gauge. I would love to see the graph of I mean, most likely every printer manufacturer's R&D has a printer with a pressure gauge. I'm almost certain. I'm sure they always study that. Wouldn't your height above sea level affect the back pressure? Theoretically, yes. In reality, maybe no. Practically, I think your device is not good enough to see any difference. Do you think Polymaker will ever come out with a printer or some filament? Well, never say never, right? But I doubt. I think we want to make awesome filament, and as long as we're not there, we are not going to put any focus on anything else. As long as we have not created the perfect filament or the perfect set of filament, then we will not change our focus. The next extruder does. What is the next extruder? Next extruder. What is the next extruder? Well, I have no hit on Google. Is that a custom one? I'm not sure how that would work. Hey, Maker Viking. Yeah, XL has more than one load cell in the hot end. They showed pressure gap also in the MK4 and Core 1. Oh yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. Polymaker is hard at work developing the perfect yellow PLA Pro. Good answer. I want a Nico Zombie yellow battle for all time's sake. We do have some good yellow now, right? However, it's spelled. It's the stock extruder on the XL and MK4. Oh, okay, got it. Wow, it's already 50 minutes. We almost finished already. Oh, wow. I forgot how time is not, live stream time is really different from regular time. Okay, back to feedback hour. Do you have any feedback? Sean is gonna kill me. What? You didn't gather any feedback? You spent 1 hour talking and no feedback? Well, I did screenshot some feedback. I have 5 feedback. So I'm not going empty. I'm not going back to him empty-handed. One filament to rule them all. That was the marketing for PLA Pro. Some other Chinese filament manufacturers produce all other kinds of stuff too, not just printers. Like Sunlu has drawing tablets for kids, ultrasonic cleaner, thermolabel printer. Yes. Has anyone 3D printed in space? Zero gravity would be interested. Yes. Yeah, they have. They have 3D printed in space. Never enough time with you. Yeah. Go so fast. HTPLA yellow is the zombie approved certified yellow. Yeah, at least we have one yellow. Korea Rice Box question: could Polymaker website add improve the feature of increasing the cart amount to get a gift? Run into the problem at checkout, and the cart didn't notify me that discounts and code will make you ineligible. Wait, could Polymaker website add improve the feature of increasing the cart amount to get a gift? Ran into the problem at checkout, and the card didn't notify me that discounts and codes will make you ineligible. Okay, I'm not sure I understand, but I will screenshot that for the e-commerce team so they can look into it. Yeah, 6 feedback. More TPU colors. You'll have to wait a little bit. But some cool stuff are coming. Would love it in regular PLA Pro, regular PLA. Look like the good old stream. 1 hour is like 20 minutes. Yeah, I literally started the stream. The first time I look at the clock, there was 12 minutes. And then I literally just started talking about a few things. I look at the clock, 52 minutes. It's incredible. Glimmerwork, when will we be getting restock of temperature changing filament? So we have some supply challenging, so they are reformulating. So that might not be for a few months still. Glimmerwork, unfortunately. But we will come back with more. So that's, let's say, the good news in the bad news. They 3D print on the ISS, yes. Overhang are great in space. I would say one filament, rule the most, Polymaker dudes. Free gift during restock. Feedback: searching Polymaker website by filament color is not intuitive. Searching Polymaker website by filament color is not intuitive. Okay, let me get that. I think they are working on a new UI for the colors. So I think that feedback is perfect. Question: could Polymaker website add improved feature of? I guess that was. Oh, okay, that was from the. Okay, so let me screenshot here. The other one. Time flies when you are having fun. Absolutely, absolutely. And by the way, I retract my feedback. It is better now. Just check. Oh. Okay, let me move this. I will. Okay, there you go. Has the Fibron lineup met the release expectation? Yes. Yes, and we had really big targets for Fibron, but it did, and that's the reason why we have so much Fibron coming. So we have Fibron that launched last Monday. We have 3 more Fibron coming, plus a lot more in the coming years. So yeah, the Penchroma one is the one that was a little bit harder to educate the market. The move that we did end of last year or the year before was very challenging. For us, the move to Penchroma and Fibron was a must because of the portfolio and how the market has evolved. But the implementation was a real challenge for us. And and we understand that. I mean, is never really clear. The portfolio is never really clear when you are in the middle of a transition, because we have a vision that is very clean, very nice, very clean, makes sense. But from something that where we were to that point, then you have a mixed vision, right? You have a mixed organized portfolio, and of course that's very challenging. So that's why we release so much feedback on our portfolio is a mess, because we are in the middle of a huge transition, and we're not finished. Our last phase of the transition is in the second phase of this year. We will go through the product optimization, and I promise that's the last phase before you start seeing the end of the tunnel, where you have that amazing vision. So just bear with us. Grainy, everyone, I jumped in earlier and say hi to Nico, but was rude to everyone else. Any upcoming 3D print events coming to the West Coast? Open source? Open source is now, right? That's in the West Coast. Like right now, I think. Website feedback. I would still like to see Creator Spool mixed with their filament type, Galaxy PL Pro Metallic. Okay, that's not a bad idea. We can list it in two different parts of the website. People are open source, Seattle, working, so make a deck, yeah. Foxioli, I noticed when you use Polycoin, it sends a code to your email, but sometimes you decide to save for later and use an affiliate code instead, but you have to remember your Polycoin's code and not lose it since it already gave it to you. I imagine people will lose coins that way. Okay, let me screenshot that also. Okay. I want to see more chrome shiny colors for metal local finish, like the silk line, right? Hey, reprinted 3D. More better print. I've been out of the loop. Depending on where you are in the world, depending on the availability, what's the weight. If you can't get it delivered within a week, where the West Coast are you? More blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. Caught up on everything. Hey, Off Axis, how is everything? Okay, so that concludes our 1 hour. How? Gregory, I think, is doing 1 hour live stream, right? Tiffany, 1 hour live stream. Sean, 1 hour feedback. I have no idea how they put everything into 1 hour. Like, I just finished 1 hour and I feel like I just started the live stream. But anyway, before I leave, I will resume the live stream in a few weeks / month, but it will be like a science live stream. So I do have. You remember many years ago, 1 year or 2 years ago, where we wanted to have a lot of machines, testing machines, and we wanted to break some stuff and study material science, etc. Printbusters, exactly. So if you remember, if people that are familiar with Printbusters, I haven't gave up the idea. Okay, so I know the Printbuster Discord is completely ghost, like there's nothing happening there. It's a ghost city, but I haven't. I 100% didn't give up the idea. Just that things, a lot of things are going on, but my machines are on the way. I repeat, the machines are on the way. I have about 8 testing devices that are coming. Moisture tester, tensile tester, impact tester, programmable oven, microscope, something to grow the bacteria for the food safe. What else? HDT device. What else? I don't remember the melt index, the melt flow index device. What else is coming? I I think there's 2 programmable oven, one that is more for drying. I think I have a UV lamp also for UV testing. I have all the Petri dishes for chemical resistant testing. Yeah, something like this. I think that's more or less. I have. I think it's a small spectrophotometer, not a very accurate one, but maybe the TD one is better than this one. I don't remember what was the small device. A VOC device, but I just need to have like the enclosure and stuff like this. Yeah, I think that's. I have the list, but I don't have it handy here. I need to go through my email. But yeah, so, and I made space. Like in this office, if you remember last time I was on the other office, which is bigger, but my daughter has more toys than I have stuff for the office. So she took over my large office and I went to her small toy room. But I put it in a way that basically I can put a lot of device, and I put something to hold my computer, and the computer can move with me around the devices. So yeah, so I just wanted to take advantage that I'm on the stream to tell you guys that I haven't gave up Printbusters. I definitely not active, but I haven't gave up, and the machines are coming, and but it takes a month to arrive here because they were sent in a container. But anyway, yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you. So for the people that knew Printbusters, it's coming, and for the people that just discover what Printbuster is, you're very welcome to join that live stream. I'm thinking about Friday evening or Friday morning, or because I think Gregory stream on Monday, Joel stream on Tuesday. So I may take Joel's stream potentially on Tuesday evening. Tiffany is on Wednesday. Imprinting Colors is also on Wednesday. Awesome Squad is on Wednesday. Meet the Point Maker is on Thursday. Feedback Hour is on Thursday. So only. There's someone on my window. Someone is looking at my window. Okay, that's not creepy at all. So only Friday basically is available. So let's see. Okay, you should stream on Friday during the LM birthday stream. Need to test the PPS gasoline resistance. Yeah, we'll do a bunch of tests. I'm so excited, and that's not going to be a 1 hour live stream, by the way. If you are, it's going to be some regular, normal 5 hours live stream. No, I'm kidding. 3 to 4 hours. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I think I gathered 9 feedback that I will send to Sean, and then he will follow up with all of these in the next feedback hour. And sorry for the people that are more used to the regular feedback hour. I didn't do a very good job replacing Sean. My natural passion for all the discussion just took over. Okay, thank you, everyone. It was nice talking to you again. It's a pleasure always to live stream with you guys. Wish you a good rest of your week, and talk to you soon on most likely a Printbuster live stream. See you, everyone.